This is 90 Minutes with Mathematical. We are x-raying the Super Eagles and Nigerian football. And I have my guest seated. We are unable to get my third guest, who is in Jos, who would have, but we'll keep trying to see if we can connect with him. But here in the studio, I can see very clearly a man who ignited conversation in several newspapers. What he wrote earlier this week has been published by several newspapers. They just picked it up and everybody was publishing because it spoke. It spoke. He is the, renowned journalist, award-winning journalist, editor of The Moment newspaper, Dr. David Olanrewaju. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, Big Sheg. I think he just lost his connection just as you were about to talk to him.
Well, that voice that you've just heard now is that of my brother, my friend, supreme journalist, barrister, Osasu Obayuana. Osasu, how now? Good morning.
Good morning, Big Sheg. How are you? I'm going to tell your listeners a secret. When he was away, when Big Sheg was away in London and was on his enforced holiday, I was doing a piece, so I was called by the football correspondent of the Observer of London, who was doing a piece on this very issue of Nigeria's very peculiar performance in this World Cup elimination series. And I wanted the correspondent to talk to Big Sheg, and when I asked him, he said, "No, I want to enjoy my tennis. I don't want to hear anything about football. I don't want to know anything about the Super Eagles. Nobody should disturb me now. I am enjoying my US Open tennis." Am I lying?
This Osasu, you want to put me in trouble. No. Yeah. No, but you are absolutely right. I was banned. The children said, "No way, you are not going to participate in anything that has to do with anything." So, and that included even discussing the Super Eagles. But, I don't know. I really don't know. But we saw it coming. And
I've been seeing it coming for 4 years. I've been saying it since December 2021 that we were heading down this terrible path. And I know the insults I've received from so many Nigerians, even from colleagues who could not see what I was seeing.
Anyway.
I know.
Yeah, go on. Okay, go on.
I'll go. I know you don't like Gernot Roll. You don't like him. You don't like how he handled the national team. And you were not sad to see him go. But I told you, and I told Nigerians, that sacking that man at the time he was fired would lead to disasters that will follow for years after his departure. And I've been proven right every step of the way. It's unfortunate. That's why
are you saying that the problem we have now is because Gernot Roll was sacked?
Sorry. I can't shed any tear for what is happening now because I had the pain of warning Nigerians for years that this will happen. So now it has happened. Why should I feel bad about it? I've said it. I have shouted the warnings for years and nobody paid attention to it. There are so many reasons why we are in this mess, besides what I advised against. But unfortunately, those who run football, they feel they know better. So they should explain to Nigerians what they have done. And they should be held accountable for it.
Yeah, but the way you've just put it now, it's like the sacking of Gernot Roll is the cause of all our problems. Because I think it's deeper than just Super Eagles and all.
It's deeper than that, but I'm talking of the immediate. Look, Big Sheg, forget about whether you liked his style of football or not.
No, but he wasn't winning when he was sacked.
Hold on, Big Sheg, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Forget about whether you liked his style of football or you didn't like it. As a coach, you judge a coach's performance by the results he produces. That's the metric. That's the metric, the ultimate metric, not our emotions, not sentiment, by the results. In the 5 years that guy was there, when he took over in 2016, and Nigeria was in a World Cup qualifying group with Zambia, Cameroon, and Algeria, all Nigerians said, there's no way we could make it. They thought it was beyond us. Because as at that time he took over, the team was in a very bad shape. He took over this team in 2016 and qualified the team for the World Cup with a game to spare. Cameroon didn't go to the World Cup because of how the team performed. Neither did Algeria go. People forget this. Then after that World Cup, he went to the AFCON in Egypt. He won a bronze medal. Okay, yes, we know for Nigeria, bronze medal is not a big issue, but he did not go back from Egypt without having a medal in hand. After that, he now started the World Cup qualifying series, and the target was qualify for the World Cup. And as at the time he was sacked in December 2021, he had earned Nigeria a playoff ticket. So on what basis do you sack a coach that has given you the playoff ticket? You let him finish the World Cup series. Then if he fails after that, you can say he failed. But as at the time you sacked him, he had qualified Nigeria for the playoff ticket. Whether you like his football or you don't like it, he did the job.
Okay, well, we are not going to.
I'm coming. No, I'm saying this
because we are reducing everything now to Gannett Raw. I don't want for us to even start.
I'm repeating these things for a reason.
Okay.
I'm not just saying it just to talk. Because he met the metrics, the targets he was given. You don't sack a coach who has met the targets he has been given. It's not correct. And we need to stop this. It's not about whether he's foreign or whether he's Nigerian. Even if he were a Nigerian, I would still say the exact same thing. Because a coach is a coach, he's a professional, whether he is Nigerian or whether he's foreign. Sacking him a month to the AFCON was ridiculous. It was an act of tremendous self-sabotage. And yet, I was ashamed to even see journalists who know better applauding that. And after that, what has happened? In the 4+ years he has gone, you have changed national coaches 7 times. 7 times. How can a serious country in football change its national coach 7 times in less than 4 years? That is absolute insanity.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that we don't just go on that tangent for such a long time, because I'm sure so many people have their opinions about Gannett Raw. You think that you think that he was successful. Many things. No, wait now. Many thought he was not delivering, and that he did not deliver, and that the targets set for him were not good enough, and the football being played at the time were not good enough, and so on and so forth. But we will not make this a referendum on Gannett Raw, definitely. Thankfully,
it isn't.
Okay. No, but that's how we started. But okay, that's okay.
What has happened since he left?
Okay.
What has been the story since December 2021 till now, September?
But what was the story before he even came? You see, what was it? It has not been good for Nigerian football for such a long time. Before even Gannett Raw came,
I agree with you.
He was supposed to provide some answers which he did not provide. You know, he didn't give us a team that was convincing. That's the bottom line. He didn't deliver to the extent that we thought he would. So
you and I will always agree to disagree on this point.
Okay, but don't let's shift the topic. Let's.
Future, because in future, forget about Gannett Raw now. The Gannett Raw that all of you were rubbishing. He is likely to take Benin to this World Cup.
Well, let's watch and see.
I predict that is what he is going to do.
Let's watch and see. Yeah. None of us knows. So let's just watch and see.
But is it not a shame that Benin is still in the race for the World Cup?
We are still in the race because David Olanrewaju is here. Wait now.
What race are you in?
Wait, David Olanrewaju is here. Dr. David Olanrewaju is here.
This is not a tournament of going for fasting and prayers and calculators. look, let us tell ourselves the bitter truth.
Okay,
we are
Osasu.
finished with this World Cup. We are done.
Okay. Anyway, by the way, Osasu, it would be fantastic if we could see your face. Let's go and do some makeup so that I will speak with
I can't do any
David.
makeup. I'm tired. I've been doing makeup for Soccer Africa for this. I'm tired. I just
okay. Don't do any makeup. Don't do any makeup. We like to see your face. We like to see your face. We have to see the expressions on your face, all the passion that you have expressed. And of course, you are speaking.
You are doing it, I'm sure, very well. You can feel what I'm saying.
You know, this is being streamed all over. Okay, but that's fine. That's fine. Let me invite David, who has just joined us. Olanrewaju is the editor of the Moment newspapers, and his publication earlier in the week has just been taken by so many other newspapers, Punch, you know, the News, and so on and so forth. And it's my pleasure to welcome David. Good morning, David.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Dr. Degbami.
Aha. You know, what caught my just you had given up hope. You had given up hope on Nigeria qualifying for the World Cup. And then suddenly, after the match in South Africa, you came back and you said, these analyses and so on, and now you are giving us hope that Nigeria can even make it. So tell us that transition. What happened? Why did you have hope? And now that everybody thinks we are not going anywhere, then you think that we are going somewhere. Okay, David.
I just thought over it. And believe and said to myself that why would I wish my country bad, even if they are not doing fine, if they are not doing what we want at the moment? Why do I have to wish my country bad?
No, it's not wish. It's not wish. You know, it has nothing to do with wishing them bad or not. It's about what is on ground.
Some Nigerians do not even want Nigeria to qualify at all. They derive joy in that. They derive so much. I've interviewed so much people. I've been in the gathering of sport lovers, and some of them are even bent on saying Nigeria should not qualify at all. They don't want it. They are tired. They are not happy with what is going on in the country, politically, economically, and so on and so forth. Why should we be thinking like that? So that's why I decided that I would support this team. We'll be flying together. If we are thinking now, we will sing together. I still believe Nigeria can make it to the World Cup next year.
Okay, how? How will Nigeria make it to the World Cup next year?
We had a similar scenario in 2002, Korea, Japan. I don't know whether you can recollect very well.
No, go on.
Liberia was leading the group. Liberia was ahead of Nigeria, and all hope seemed lost then. Joe Bonfrey was the coach. We had like 2 or 3 matches left, and there was no hope for us. The FA had to sack to Bonfrey then. I don't know whether you can still recollect this. And brought in Amodu.
Yes, I recall very well. He was sacked after the Sierra Leone game in that time. And then Shaibu Amodu
came with the team, and they
qualified.
Yes. How did it happen? Nigeria won its remaining matches, and Liberia faltered. They couldn't win again. Liberia, that was beating everybody, black and blue, couldn't win again, and Nigeria qualified. So if it's, but many Nigerians had forgotten this.
No, Mr.
No, wait. The format.
We haven't forgotten at all. At least I've been covering this national team for decades now. So there's nothing you are going to tell me about World Cup qualifying series that I don't know. You cannot compare the caliber of the players that we had then with now. Their fighting spirit, their mentality, their sense of duty to the country, the likes of Yakubu Ayegbeni, Sunday Olise, those were the people that were playing in that team and had to get those results.
To Korea, Japan,
Yes.
No. Those were not the key players to Korea, Japan.
No. They went to Sudan. They had to go and get results in Sudan. I remember very well.
Yes.
But Yakubu was dropped. He didn't go to Korea, Japan, but he was an integral part of the qualification series for Korea, Japan.
Okay.
Big Check.
No, you're talking quality of players. No. I'm just saying.
A lot of the players fell out with the NFF after the Nations Cup in Mali, and many of them didn't go to Japan. Because
including for yes.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, but let David finish his own, then you can come in now.
Sure. I just wanted to make a point, but yes, please.
Yeah.
So I still believe that the Eagles can qualify, although it looks so impossible.
So they win all their matches now. That does not qualify them. Even if they win all their matches now, that does not qualify the Eagles.
Yes, if we win the 2 matches,
yes,
and South Africa loses at 2 matches, what happens?
You see, now it depends on what the other results. It depends on the other results.
And again, yes, it can still happen. Okay. If we win our 2 matches and South Africa loses us, then maybe we will win our 2 matches with heavy goal margins. We can still struggle. Yes, it's possible, sir.
No, I'm not saying it's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Nothing. So I'm just listening to you. Yes. But we have to be realistic sometimes, so that we don't build up people's hopes.
Then option A2, or another point is that
good.
We can still be lucky that the AMA falls on South Africa for feeding an eligible player.
Okay.
And 3 points will still be deducted from them.
Yes, and then that would not place us ahead of them. That would still not place us ahead.
It will, sir.
Oh, it will.
Yes, sir. Once.
No, they won't give you the points. They won't give you their points.
The 3 points that will be deducted from South Africa goes to Lesotho, not us.
Not Nigeria. Yes, they won't give
you. But we will be on 17. South Africa will not be on 17 again. That's what I'm saying.
But they have 2 games to go.
You're making your calculation based on the fact that you would have won the remaining 2 matches. South Africa
they have lost their 2 matches.
And they would have also lost 2 matches. That's a lot you're asking. That's a lot of luck you are asking for when you're not able to do your homework in the first 7 matches or 8 matches out of 10. You are expecting that the 9 matches will bring the miracle you could not do in the last 8 matches.
I know. What we don't realize is that these players want to be in the World Cup.
Which players?
Our players, they want to be in the World Cup.
Oh, the South Africans don't want to be in the World Cup. You think South Africa that held Nigeria took us to a very bad pitch strategically, and we couldn't.
Nigerians believe, Dr. Odegba, some Nigerians believe, or a lot of Nigerians believe that our current Super Eagles are not interested in going to the World Cup.
No, that's not true. That's not true. No, but all the players are interested. They are interested. But I want to ask. Okay, let's take the conversation differently now, based on what Osasu even said. Look, Osasu, are these players, when you look at the quality of players we have and you look at the games that we have played, are these players really deserving? Forget about coach or anything. Do we have the quality of players at this point to top that group that we are in? We have seen the other teams play, and see our own players, see where they are, see how they are playing in their different clubs. Is it really about the players now, or is it that the players are not a team yet, or is it that they don't even have time to become a team? Is it that what could we attribute it? We don't have the quality of players to go to the World. Is that what we are saying? I don't know.
No.
Osasu, your opinion.
Look, Nigeria's problem is not lack of players. That's not the problem. And that is why the whole world is looking at Nigeria and wondering what the hell is going on with you guys. Our problem, as I just said, we have had 7 changes of coaching personnel in the last 4 years. 7. How on earth do you
So
build
that's administration. Administration is the issue because they are the ones changing the coaches, Abi?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So how can you build a team when you are changing and chopping coaches so often? By the time one coach is getting to one point, you chuck him out. Another one comes in. By the time he's just starting to find his feet, you chuck him out, you bring him. You've done it 7 times in 4 years. 7. Big Sheikh, that is where your answer is. The lack of stability in terms of the planning and the management of the team has made it so difficult. I know you say I shouldn't go back to Gernot Rohr, but he was there for 5 years. When you have a coach in a position or managing a team for 5 years, there's some stability there. You can plan, this is how the manager wants to do his things. This is how he wants to arrange the team. This is how he deals with the player. And then the players also feel that, okay, there is some order here because there is stability here. There is absolutely no stability in the management of the national team. Why on earth do you think we deserve to qualify for a World Cup with such chaos within the ranks of Nigeria's managerial situation? I would like to know. Maybe there's something you see that I don't see, because your answer is right there, besides other things that we can discuss.
David, your reaction?
Yeah. What I didn't actually get that. I was doing another thing, sir. Can he repeat himself?
No, he can't repeat himself. Anyway, let me just...
I didn't get what you said.
Okay. What we'll do is this. I see that the phone lines have been ringing. And we need to, even from now, start to, involve the public in our conversation, because this is a very serious issue. So let me announce the number again. People can call in now. 0700 2255 1037. And the second number is 081 27 82 8497. This is 90 Minutes with Mathematical, and we are doing an X-ray on the Super Eagles and Nigerian football as a whole. Osasu has just brought up the issue of changing the number of coaches for the national team 7 times in the past 4 years. And of course, the coaches don't change themselves. This is done by administrators. So let me take this call. Okay, it's gone. But David, that's what he was saying, that we've just been changing coaches, and I said we are changing coaches like baby diapers.
It's right. It's very right. We have been changing coaches for too frequently, and I think that this is one of the reasons why we have found ourselves where we are right now. Many people have called for an overhaul of the FA, but we don't know what we can do about that, because there are procedures to that. But like he rightly said, changes of coaches here and there every time.
But if you find that the coach, you are not hiring the right coach, suppose you are not even hiring the right coach, would you now keep the wrong coach?
That's question. That is, personally, I supported Emmanuel Amunike over this what is his name again? Eric Chen. I wanted Amunike because Amunike is someone who has luck with him as a player and as a coach.
Just give us a second. Hello, good morning.
Okay, sir.
Your line is not your line is not clean at all. Your line is not clean. Please call us again. Call us again. All right, go on. You're talking of Amunike.
Yes, I supported him when the FA won a new coach. Then when they start the job, but all of a sudden we just end from where? From Mali. Okay, but I had wanted the FA to employ Amunike, but we don't know what happened. But we are now here, and we have found ourselves in a very tight corner now. And we just believe that we survive it. We believe Because after this World Cup qualifiers, if we don't go, of course the coaching crew will go.
Okay.
Start all over again, and it's not good for our football at all. We need a very good technical department in the FA. We need a very good coaching crew and a very understanding FA, so that we can support all this trauma.
Okay, let's involve the public now. I don't, my technical people, I hope the lines are clear. Good morning. Good morning.
This is
wondering why the line is not clear this morning. Okay, but go on. We'll try and see if we can hear you clearer. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hello. This is Sulaiman from Afowata, ICT.
Okay, Sulaiman.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The Nigeria issue is that we really need to change our voting system in Nigeria, because I don't think it's good enough. Like the way the man said, the man that came with on the radio. We are not supposed to start Ghana so because he's a very good coach. So attacking him is just like a big shit. Like, we really need to get him and having a good coach in Nigeria, because the coaching system in Nigeria is very poor. Sorry to say, where are the good coaches? I don't even think they have the right license to do the coaching national system or domestically we have in Nigeria. So starting Ghana is a big mess. So we need to have a quality coach, a higher grade, like in our national team, so that we can be able to win the Nations Cup and maybe the World Cup. Getting the World Cup for the I think that would have been better.
Okay. So you think it's...
And that's why Mikes have said 2 days ago or 3 days ago, that the NFL system, they need changes. I think that time the government, they put more seriousness in all these things, because I don't even think they know what they are doing. They are just sitting down doing what they like. They really need to change the NFL system and get the right chairman that the football system in Nigeria can change. Look at Benin Republic. They are even doing better than us now.
Yeah, so are they doing better than us now?
Huh?
You said Benin Republic are doing better than us now.
The World Cup qualifying series, of course, they're doing far better than you.
No, I'm just asking him.
They're in the right position to qualify than Nigeria now.
Okay. So that's good. Well, Suleiman, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Osasu. Yeah, Osasu. So the NFF as a body is culpable, and most people blame them. Most people blame them, but you see, they don't play the game themselves. If they were footballers, we could just kill them, but they don't play the game themselves. There's another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Chief.
Yes. Who are we speaking with? Where are you calling from?
The doctor.
Yes. Who are we speaking with? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, you are speaking with Mr. Paul Albert from Baba.
Okay, Mr. Albert.
Yeah, I want to talk about the issue of sports in Nigeria. You understand?
Go on.
I mean, Chief, where you people are in football state, you understand? You know how football is managing in Nigeria. But this time around, they import a foreign coach, they import a local coach, they import individuals, they import this and that. You understand? I can remember when I came to Lagos, I heard that Benjamin wanted to contest for FIFA president. But nobody supported him because of our politics in Nigeria. You understand me? I do mean that we have ex-players in our football level. I don't think that all this Nigeria qualify for World Cup and Nigeria. But when you can remember when you people are playing, if you want to meet so country, just ask, what did I want to watch? Because Nigeria would beat them. And it will happen like that. Even the time of Rashidi, you are killing them. Inside Super Finidi judge them. What will have match? Yeah, we don't need to watch them. Because Nigeria will beat them. What you would listen to this, how many goals Nigeria will score in that match? Because we know that we are going to win. Now we carry carpenter to put in football. We carry furniture to put in football. We carry architects to put in football. Okay, look at as a football like Finland. You go and open sports radio, which we know about it. Because we know it's your life. You cannot you cannot carry a doctor to come and defend somebody in a court when lawyer is there. You cannot carry lawyer to come and treat somebody in a hospital where doctor is there. That is what is worrying our football in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Albert. Thank you. Well, Osasu, the reality, from my own small experience, the reality is that, look, in times past, every national team had a little time to put players together, to organize them, to build them into a team of some sort. But now, in the past decade at least, the best a coach could do is 3 days before a game, a few players start to come. 2 days to a game, more of them come. Some even come a day to the game. And then the coach just assembles them and tries to organize them into a team, and they go and play. So the possibility of really developing a proper team, such as we had when them JJ, them Rashidi, them Mutiu, and so on, we are playing together. And when we were going to watch them in camp, they were being taught how to play systems and patterns and styles, and they got to understand each other. The reality today is that there is no such time. Your thoughts on that?
So what's the
so you need to now get coaches that can assemble the right kind of players based on his knowledge of the players and how they are going to play naturally to fit into a team. That's what Otto Gloria told me many decades ago about this issue of time and players coming to camp and staying in camp. If they stayed in camp for any length of time, every coach will be able to impact his knowledge and his style and his system in the team and build the team. But as the way they come now, the way they come into camp now, you have to get a different kind of coach, different kind of knowledge, who knows the players inside out and who can put them in positions where they can play. Even naturally, they play and play in accordance to a certain pattern. It's not every coach that has that kind of understanding. And I listened to Eric Chell the other day, and he was referring to that aspect also. That is something we have to really consider. But in talking about coaches, because it appears, even as we blame administrators, where would we get the best coaches to handle the national team of Nigeria? How? Where? Where are they? I'm asking you, Osasu. You are vast. It's not about reporting alone, but the vastness of your knowledge and all that. Is it that easy to get the best coaches?
No, because Nigeria's reputation with regards to paying coaches is so bad that the best talents in the world will not come to Nigeria. Why would they want to come and be owed salary? Why? Why would you want to come and then when the coach lays out his plan, he may not even get an answer from the NFF for months? You see, if you read the interview that I had with Eric Shell, which I had conversations with him in Zanzibar and mainland Tanzania during the CHAN, he said that his interaction with the president and the administration is minimal. When you are having a coach that is coming here on like a commando mission to qualify you for a World Cup. There must be absolute harmony between the coach and the administration in terms of what he's doing, how he's going about it, and the support he gets in order to achieve what he wants to achieve. Yes, we can talk about the fact that Eric Schell is, for Nigeria, there is no question that Eric Schell is grossly inexperienced. And that then addresses another issue. Why would the NFF hire a coach? Can you hear me?
Yeah, give us a minute. You the listener, give us a minute. Osasu, go on.
Yes. Why would the NFF hire a coach whose only international experience is managing the Eagles of Mali? Nigeria is not a team that you hand to a coach that does not have top-level experience. You know, when you had Otto Gloria taking over the Green Eagles, as it were, in the period before the 1980 Nations Cup, Otto Gloria had taken Portugal to third place at the 1966 World Cup. He had been a World Cup coach before he came to Nigeria to work with you. So he had worked at the highest levels possible. But now, you know, only a well-educated federation with knowledgeable people in the technical department, with knowledgeable people on the board, will sit down and appoint the right caliber of coach. If they lack the football literacy to know a good coach from a bad one, or a very experienced coach from a very inexperienced one, how on earth are they going to make the right choices for Nigeria? One of the reasons why South Africa are where they are right now is the choice of coach. Hugo Broos is, when he was coaching in the Belgian league with Bruges, and that's many years ago, he was one of the best coaches in Belgium, a highly respected coach. He came to Africa, took a job with Cameroon, and won the AFCON in Gabon in 2017. And it was on the back of that South Africa hired him. And even though South Africa don't have very big players, because of his depth of knowledge and his managerial experience, he's been able to put together this team to get them to where they are now in the World Cup qualifiers. And it is clear, even in South Africa, while I was there over the last week, the problem now everybody is seeing, because I was talking to Dr. Kumalo, who won the Nations Cup in 1996. I was at an event with him earlier in the week. And we were saying, and we were asking if this guy goes, because Hugo Broos said he will leave South Africa at the end of the World Cup. He's not going to continue. They're going to find themselves in a huge mess all over again.
Let's take this call, and then you will just continue. Sorry. Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. Well, your line is not clear. Osasu, go on, please.
Okay, so the quality of manager has played a huge role in where Benin and where South Africa are on the table. It has also played a huge role in where Benin are too. And that's something that Nigerians are finding very hard to swallow, but it is the truth. His management of that team has taken them to where they are. And I want to really advise, even though I know those who run Nigerian football don't really have any regard for what I say, that we have to give coaches time. And we need to as you said, we need to select the right coach. And also, Nigeria as a country, we need to determine what importance does the country place on the national team. In Ghana, all national team bills are paid for by the government because from their perspective, the national team represents the country, so it is a national affair. And so the government says, okay, we will foot all the bills for the national team. We could say, yes, with Nigeria's economy, they should be able to get sponsorship, and they should be able to get the right commercial deals, and they shouldn't need government. That's a very good, plausible argument. I don't doubt it. But look at the problems now the Federation has been having with being able to hire the best coaches to run the national team. Look at Brazil. Brazil looked, I mean, this is a country that has won the World Cup, what, 5 times? They looked at the coaching personnel in their own country and said, no, we don't have the quality anymore. And then they decided to go for Ancelotti. That's the first time in the history of Brazil that a foreigner will, I mean, it is unheard of, it's unthinkable in Brazil. But they humbled themselves because they knew the reality. And of course, when you want to go for someone like Ancelotti, you must be prepared to pay because he left Real Madrid to go to Brazil. So back to Nigeria. Look, if we want the best coach, we know that if Nigeria regard for the national team as an important part of the country's international image, how we project ourselves as a country, the government could say, you know what, okay, we want the best to handle the national team, we are prepared to pay. All that the government too would need to do is to understand the fact that you pay doesn't mean you interfere in the professional management of the national team. Your duty is only to pay. Leave the national team to be managed by professionals. If they don't perform, or if you are not happy with the performance, you can decide to withdraw the payment and let the federation do it themselves. But I think we have to come to a point now where some serious discussions need to be had about how the coaches are paid. Because if we want the best coaches in the world to come to Nigeria, because I think at this point, Nigeria should go for the very best.
Okay.
But if you also want the very best, it's not just about the salary, it's about the working environment you are going to give the coach. Because he doesn't want to come and be told, oh, I need to go here, and they'll be told, oh, one paper has not been approved. He has to go to the ministry of this, one officer. You don't have time for all that rubbish. They're there to work and to do a job.
Okay.
So we as a country, we really need to decide what we want to do with regards to our football, at least at the national team level. We can talk about other levels as we go along.
Yeah.
We're talking about the national team now.
Okay, let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm JJ calling from Abeokuta.
JJ.
Yeah.
Which local JJ is this one? Is it JJ? Is it JJ of football or JJ of where? Go ahead.
All right. Just like your said, it means that the amount from South Africa.
Okay, you know what? Because your line is not very clear. No, just a minute. Just a minute. JJ. JJ, we have to cut you off. Sorry, we'll be going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll continue with our conversation. But David, I want you to think about this. We are looking at the issue of the board of the NFF. The board of the NFF. 2 things I want you to think about. 1, do we have to have somebody who played football or who is vast in the football knowledge? How do you even determine who is vast in the football knowledge? We are all experts. Every Nigerian is an expert when it comes to the issue of football. And we are so passionate about it that we all think we are right. The position we hold is the correct one. And because we have that kind of climate, anybody can be on the board of the NFF. Because if you ask us now, those who constitute the General Assembly of Nigerian Football Federation, I can bet that most Nigerians don't even know them. Those who are in the various technical committees, not just technical, most Nigerians don't even know them. Not to talk of the top hierarchy. Think about it. Do you have to come from the football family? At what level for you to be at the top? Do you have to be a retired footballer to be the president of the federation? Do you have to be president for Nigerian football to change? Can't you just be a member and you influence and impact Nigerian football? We want to look at the top hierarchy of Nigerian football administration now. How do we put people in places where they can impact on the game as a whole. This is 90 Minutes with Mathematical, and I have David Olanrewaju and Osasu Obayuana, my guests this morning. And I just asked David to prepare to answer, how do we get on the board of the NFA? Do you have to be a footballer?
Yeah, Dr. Debam, you don't necessarily have to be an ex-footballer to be a good administrator. And again, you don't also necessarily have to be a politician to be a good sport administrator or soccer administrator.
So how do you get the right people on the board of the NFF? How do you get the right people on the board of the NFF when the process of getting there is political? I don't know if you know much about it.
That is the issue. That is the issue. Unless the process is changed, and which is very, very difficult because of FIFA, we'll continue to have the kind of people we are having on the board of the NFF. We continue to have them. There's absolutely little anyone can do about it now, right now, because there are laid down procedures, rules. You must be this, you must be a member of this, you must have this before you become a board member of your country's football federation. So that is why it's very, very difficult to get the kind of people who genuinely love the sport, who genuinely have the love of football at heart.
Well, I think that all those who have been in Nigerian football truly love it. I meet them through the decades. I have not met one that does not love the game. But know the game is different from loving the game. Osasu, I want to hear your view on that. You know, I know part of it, but just tell me what you think. What would be a better process of getting people onto that board, but, you know, diminishing the influence of politics in it? We have a constitution that ensures that you have to politically get there. Do you have to be an ex-international to be part of it? How do you earn a place on the board of the NFF? Osasu.
Well, I think it is clear to everyone that understands the way. Look, at the last NFF election, I want Nigerians to understand what is happening. At the last NFF elections that led to the emergence of Ibrahim Musa Gusau as president, that election in Benin was a money bazaar, a real money bazaar. Delegates were being given thousands of dollars in cash to vote for candidates. These are open secrets, and it is known within the community. You know, to spare you wahala, I will not mention the names of those who gave out that money. But it was really hilarious that after one of the candidates realized that after giving the money, the people who took the money did not vote for him, he got security operatives to surround the hotel to make sure that those delegates would not run away with their loot, so that he would get their money back. He would get his money back. These are facts. And if I tell you the person who was, I don't want to even go there. It's too much for this program. I don't want to go there. Yes,
please don't. Yeah. Please don't.
I don't want to go there. But you see, this is to tell Nigerians how our football leaders are elected. And why is it so easy for that to happen? Because the 36 state FA chairmen are the ones who decide who the NFF president is. The Nigerian football community is wider than those 36 people. Why should they have the right to hold our football to ransom in the manner they are holding it? There are so many other constituencies within the football community that need to be represented. And we also need to create an atmosphere where people from even outside football who have been successful in business and have good management capacity can also contest. so that we change the story. As you know, I hope, I don't think the chairman of the National Sports Commission will mind me saying this, because I've discussed this issue with him. And I told him, I said, look, before the next election next year, the electoral rules and the eligibility of voters, it has to be changed. He sees my argument, but whether they will be able to do it before the next election, that is what I don't know. And remember that he's also a part of that community. He has been in this community for so many years, too, as a second vice president. So it's very difficult when there are so many entrenched interests to change it. But we need to change it. If we don't change it, even if Gusau is not elected next year, the person who will be elected will be one of those 36 state FA chairmen. It won't change. It will be Joroja Rajoro, as usual, the same story.
We have a caller. Hello.
Hello, JJ calling back.
Okay, JJ, it's clearer this time. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, like I was saying, I say one of your guests who said if the hammer falls on South Africa, so Nigeria will have a chance to qualify.
Okay.
I think that is a lot he's asking for. How can Nigeria win the 2 games and South Africa will not even win any? And if it happens that way, don't forget we have Benin Republic, who's having 14 points in that group. So even Benin Republic might just try to get a draw with Nigeria, wins the remaining game, South Africa loses the remaining 2 games. So Benin Republic might just pick up the ticket. So another thing is, sacking of General, just like a journalist tells us about Iwana, it was very, very wrong. The man never failed us. Just people were complaining they don't like his pattern. So he was getting the result. They should have left him there. So that is part of our problem. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Big Shek, if you don't mind me,
go on.
You see, I want Nigerians to understand things which they are not usually disclosed to the public. And going back to that situation, in 2021, when Gernot Rohr was sacked, the decision to sack him was not an NFF decision. It was a decision of the Minister of Sport. He made the decision, and it was forced upon the NFF. And why did the NFF accept? Because the then President, Amaju Pinnick, was thinking of a 3rd term. He felt that if he didn't have the minister in his corner, it would be difficult for him to come back for a 3rd term. And he felt that if he sacrificed the coach, then he may be able to achieve his own personal goal. Well, as it turned out, neither happened for him. Nigeria didn't qualify for the World Cup, and he didn't get his 3rd term. So it was a very foolhardy move by him to have succumbed to the minister in that fashion. And that is why we need to have people in football of high integrity and principles. People who can look at something dispassionately and say this is right based on these factors which cannot be disputed, to the point that even if a superior officer tells him, take this action, he says, sir, I'm sorry, I can't do that because it is not in the interest of Nigeria for me to take such an action. If we don't have these kinds of people running our sport, things are going to be difficult. Very difficult. We have just been hearing about what is going on in Tokyo with regards to the athletes. Toby Amuson put out a video showing the kind of kit she received to participate in Tokyo. And you wonder, what is happening in Nigeria? What is really happening? That we cannot even kit our athletes properly? So the issues we are talking about in governance of football are governance issues in sport as a whole. It is a big problem throughout Nigerian sport, this thing we are discussing now.
Okay. Let me make a contribution. I have never said this publicly, but let me make a contribution. I hope people will just listen, because there's nothing for me to gain or to lose. But we have a caller. Let me respect the caller. Hello?
Hello, good morning, Mathematical.
Good morning. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Victor. I'm calling from Italy.
Okay, Victor, go ahead.
Yeah, I know we have a managerial problem in the country with regards to our sporting. And we all know the problem, we all know the cause. Yeah, and I think the cause is because we allow politics to dictate almost everything in the country. But I want to take us away from the managerial aspect.
Okay.
Mathematical. I believe you've been to all our pitches. Our stadiums.
Yes, our stadium.
They are so bad. My question is, are we that poor? To the extent that we don't have any suitable stadium apart from the Uyo. And the Uyo pitch doesn't have electronic display.
Can I answer the caller so that I will just give him a straight answer? It's not that Nigeria is poor. It is about priorities.
Misplaced priorities.
What importance does the country place on sport? Is sport a driver of national development? Is sport a driver of development of the young in Nigeria? Nigeria has a population of 30 and under, which is about 75% of the population. Sport is so important as a tool to drive development amongst the vast majority of our people. Unfortunately, our governments have not regarded sport as a critical pillar of national development. And that is why the infrastructure for sport has been neglected to a point where Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa, which goes between first and second in terms of economic size in the continent, can only boast of one stadium that meets international standard. It is a shame of a nation. It is a disgrace. It is painful for Nigeria to be in such a situation. But unfortunately, I don't see us getting out of it anytime soon if there is no change in attitude from our government towards sporting infrastructure. Yes, I'm hearing from the NSC that they are trying to change this. I think the chairman traveled around Europe to talk to certain sports facilities people who could come and help to renovate our stadium, which will be good if they can do it. But you also have to think about the sustainability, because you can get them in this year or next year, but would it be maintained in the next 5 or 10 years? And again, I've also had this conversation with a lot of people around the continent when it even comes to staging of the African Cup of Nations. We don't need to have the African Cup of Nations in stadia of 60, 70,000 people, when we know that the sports economy of that country cannot sustain it after the tournament is finished. It makes absolutely no sense. You can have a world-class stadium of 10,000 with 10,000 capacity. What makes it world-class is not the number of people who come into the stadium, but the facilities that are available in the stadium. That's what makes it a world-class stadium. So you can have a 10,000 stadium or 15,000 or 20,000, which is world-class, has all the facilities, and it's manageable, and it is not so costly to run. We need to totally change our attitude to stadium construction, to thinking of how stadia key into a sports ecosystem that can sustain them after major international competitions are finished, and what the long-term maintenance of those places will be.
Fantastic.
We don't seem to be thinking.
Let's allow Victor to go. So, Victor, thank you very much.
My contribution
is
what is affecting all other sectors in this country is the same thing affecting sports.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. And Osasu just nailed it. Nailed it. You know, Osasu is just speaking the right language. You know, those that truly know sports in Nigeria are very, very few. Very, very few. You know, in all my experiences and so on, we forget so many things. So let me make my own small contribution, particularly in the area of administration. There was a turning point in the history of sports administration in this country. A turning point. Before a certain year, some 30 years ago or so, boards conducted their elections. Only about 13, 14 people did the elections, representing the key constituencies in that sport. One representative of each of the constituencies, just one. The only one that has two was government. Government had two representatives, and they made 13, 14 people. You didn't need to campaign more than one day. You didn't need to pay anybody anything. They all met in the capital city, and the elections were conducted. And because there was only one representative of each constituency, for that person to emerge from their constituency, they have to have earned it. So you had 13 people who were solid from their different constituencies, plus 2 people from government who were conducting elections for the leadership of their federation. It was as simple as that. Then suddenly, because there was interest, political interest, they said, okay, one of the constituencies should now be expanded to 36. Instead of having one representative to conduct the election, to be part of the election, they expanded it, blindfolded everybody to think that every state association is a different body, is a different constituency. That was the turning point. All the state associations, and this is the gospel, all the state associations would present one candidate to represent them where the elections for conducting, where the elections for the leadership of the Nigeria football or any federation whatsoever would be done. The moment that was changed to now to make it 36 representatives on a board where everybody else is 111, and then the state associations are 36, then we are confined to picking one of the 36 because they will back their own. And each of the 36 are, of course, selected by their different state governments, influenced by their different state governments, who do not have enough knowledge about what's going on in the state. They just politically pick somebody, and we are saddled with the responsibility of state associations dominating the leadership of Nigerian Football Federation, particularly football. That was the turning point in all of this, and nobody wants to address it now. If we don't address it, we are condemned to remaining where our football is, run by people from the state associations. There are good people there, of course, but they have not earned the right to be on the board of the Nigeria Football Federation. So even now that their elections are coming next year, we are still going to go through the same thing. A large number of people going to conduct elections. There will be, people will be spending money. There will be huge campaigns everywhere, and so on and so forth. And we have infected other African countries. Whereas it was a simple process, it can still be a simple process. And it will be equitable. Everybody would be represented by one person, and then you have the elections, and you get the right people on the board. That is my own contribution. This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 103.7 FM, reaching you from Wasimi. 90 minutes with mathematical. Osasu Oba Yuana is with me. David Olanrewaju is with me. So, David, you've been silent since. Wherever you see Osasu, he takes over. Okay. So, David, your thoughts so far.
Yeah. You spoke so well, but I believe that getting the right people on the board of the FA, like you rightly said, is very difficult because of the processes. But we just need the right people on the board.
What we need, David, what we need is that all the state associations should present one candidate. Finish. That's a constituency. State associations are one constituency. They should present one. Like the football, like the coaches association, they exist in all the states. They present one candidate, and so on and so forth. The referees present one candidate. The youth associations present one candidate. Everybody presents a candidate. But then you come to the state associations, and all of them are there. That's where Nigeria football lost it. We need to go and re-examine it again properly. Let's sit down and discuss it properly, dispassionately, and not allow sentiments of people who want to just be on the board to now dictate. And of course, since they are in that number, they all control all the committees. So state associations are in charge of everything.
It's a big mafia, and they are not prepared to let go unless they are forced to let go.
Absolutely. I know they will kill you for this, and they will kill me for this, but it is the absolute truth. It is the absolute truth. It is the absolute truth. The problem of sports administration in Nigeria today is the role of state associations. There are numbers dominating every board. They should have one representative, not even 4 or 5, because they are just a constituency, like every other constituency. That's the situation. Telephone numbers again: 0700 2255 1037, 081 27 828497. You can join us in the conversation, so make your contributions now. What's the place of the domestic league in the fortunes of Nigerian football? The domestic league in the fortunes of Nigerian football. I think that's an issue. So many people say, let's use local home-based players and so on and so forth. Your thoughts, David, because you are still laughing. Your thoughts, David. What do you think? The domestic league and
our domestic,
yes.
Yeah, our domestic league is very, very important. But right now, it seems we are not looking at it at all. During the days of Westerhoff brought us so many superstars from our domestic league. Before we could become champions of Africa and we went to US 94, he discovered so many people. But the coaches we have right now, the coaches we have been having right now are not interested in our league. They are not interested in our domestic league at all. All they do is call players from abroad, assemble them, and they play. And at the end of the day, we don't get the result we want. When Westerhoff was the coach of Nigeria,
are there players in the domestic league good enough for the Super Eagles of our dreams?
Yes, sir. They are good enough. Yes. I don't want to two of them. They are good enough. But the only thing,
do you watch the domestic league, David? Do you watch the domestic league?
Coach does not believe.
No, David, sorry. Do you watch the domestic league?
I do watch it.
Okay. You remember that in those days, in fact, not too long ago, when they asked you which players in the domestic league you think deserve to be in the national team, very easily you can say Eti Messin, Daniel Amokachi, Moses Pako. They were all playing in the domestic league. Great players. Everybody was watching them, and everybody knew them, who they were, and so on and so forth, because they were stars already, and they distinguished themselves. I'm asking you, you watch the domestic league. Give me one name, the name of one player that you think deserves to be in the Super Eagles today. Give me one now.
There There's a player that plays for Shooting Stars. He won the best player in the domestic league, I think last year. The defender. I believe the player is good enough to be in the Super Eagles.
What's his name?
I've forgotten the name. I'm sorry about that. But okay. He was the best player.
Okay, that was just a quick test. You are the one recommending him. You don't even know his name, and we want that. He should have been a player where Nigerians know and all of that. But that's fine.
I will get
Osasu. No. It's okay. No, it was just a quick test. It was just a quick test. That you see, when you have great players in your league, it is easy to know. But because of the system, they don't even stay. Before they become great, they are gone. They are gone. Our best players are not in Nigeria for sure. And of course, even the coaching in the domestic league does not help the production of great players. Anyway, let me take this to Osasu. Osasu, your thoughts on the domestic league?
Look, I think you've said the things that need to be said.
We were enjoying your face when we saw you. Now you have gone again.
We have to be honest that our league is below par and has been below par for decades. Nigeria have not won the African Champions League in over 2 decades. We last won the African Champions League in 2004. In that same time, Nigeria has not, I beg your pardon, reached the final of any African club competition in over 2 decades. For many years, Nigeria struggled to even have one team in the group stages of the African Champions League. In most years, we don't even have any team at all. So when you look at these metrics, that tells you the state of our domestic league, that it is extremely poor. We don't have teams with the right coaches. In your days, Big Sheikh, as we were discussing the other day, you had coaches from England. Alan Hawkes coached you. We had coaches even in Rangers coming from Brazil, from Argentina, for Ranchers Bees.
Yugoslavia, from Germany.
From Greece, for Atiwanya. We had actually coaches coming in and teaching players things. Values that were not present within the Nigerian football system. And instead of us as a country to say, look, if we want our clubs to be well developed, it means those that are in charge of coaching our clubs must also be well developed. If you're not a well developed coach, how can you develop players? But as I said, I was discussing, I think I told you the other time, I was discussing with the coach of Remo, Ogumodidi, and he was telling me how much it costs for them to go out and go and do the courses they need to improve. Yet the federation has not thought, or the league has said, okay, you know what? It is cheaper to bring the best in the world to Nigeria on a regular basis to teach and help improve the knowledge base of our coaches so that they can also improve the players they are coaching. They don't think of these things. And that also comes back to what my good friend Joseph Antoine Bell, the former Cameroon goalkeeper, always says every time we discuss football, that football does not start with footballers. It starts in the office of those who are responsible for the governance of football. When you don't have philosophers or visionaries or people with deep knowledge of the game running football, all these things that we are discussing, they are repeatedly ignored. Let me tell you 1 or 2 things just for you to understand the kind of administrators we have. I was at the Women's AFCON for the whole of July in Morocco, Big Sheikh, you know that. How can the kit of the team be detained by Moroccan customs for 12 days? And in addition to that, the kit came late. Nike are the kit manufacturers of Nigeria. They are one of the most professional sports organizations in the world you can think of. So they know what to do. So if the kit is late, it's simply because the Nigerian Federation did not do their own part so that they can be able to deliver in time. So, and when the kit finally got to the players in camp, Big Sheg, it was oversized for some of them because they filmed themselves wearing the kit and it was oversized. That's number one. Number two, when they won the Women's AFCON in Morocco and they were coming back to Nigeria, do you know that the luggage of Rasheedat Ajibade, the captain of that winning team, was abandoned in Morocco for almost 3 weeks before she got it back? And she's not the only one. Ifeoma Onumonu and some other players also had their luggage left in Morocco for 3 weeks. This is a team that won the Women's AFCON in Morocco. Is this the behavior from a federation that is serious, that even has regard for the athletes that are bringing honor to Nigeria? This is a team, the Super Falcons are the most successful national team in the history of African football. Men and women, they've won 10 titles. There have been 13 WAFCONs, 13. And out of those 13 WAFCONs, Nigeria has won 10. I think in all the continental competitions of the world, no team has won more of its continental competitions than the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Yes, that's how great their achievement is. But look at the treatment they are getting. So you see the whole setup, it is such a mess. And the administrators seem to be of this attitude, nothing spoil, as we say in Nigeria. It's the same old. You talk and talk and talk. The coach of the Super Falcons that won the WAFCON, Justin Madugu, are you aware that his contract ran out at the end of the WAFCON? Are you also aware that he has been waiting for his contract to be renewed? Are you also aware that Nigeria have to defend the WAFCON in 7 months' time? Are you also aware that the qualifiers for that WAFCON start next month? And because he has not been given a contract, he is officially not the coach of the Super Falcons, and so no plans are being made to prepare for the qualifiers that are going to start next month. So I'm just saying some of these things so that Nigerians can appreciate those who are running the federation, to know the kind of people they are and how seriously they take their responsibility.
Well, we are pointing these out. We are pointing these out, not to castigate anyone, not to blame anyone, but so that, they can sit up and do what they have to do, what they are responsible for. So I didn't know all of this, but, well, it's a pity. The number is 0700-2255-1037. What I have seen through the years, I'm going to repeat myself. What I have seen through the years is that those that run Nigerian football have loved the game. They have been very passionate about the game. They have good intentions for the game. But you see, in executing what are required to take the game to another level, then they become selfish. They become political. They now protect narrow interests. Come to think about it. Just think about it. When we are talking football in Nigeria, with all humility, I am a voice. I am a voice. I have experience. I have knowledge. I am in the business. I am a major stakeholder. But do you know that in the administration of football in Nigeria today, there is not one iota of role that I play officially? Not one. And it has been like that for donkey years. Why is that so? And it's not limited to me. I'm just using myself as an example. But that is the real situation. When things happen, people call, Odegbami, oh, you are the football person. But in the running of football, they keep you away. They don't want you near there at all. I don't know whether it is deliberate. I don't know whether it's whatever it is, but that's the reality. And that's the reality with the vast number of those that have been in the game at a very high level that should be part of the structure of the game in Nigeria, one way or the other. You don't have to be president to contribute. You can be part of the structure somehow, the structure that is dominated now by those who come in via politics. That, it is very, very painful. It is very, very painful. But that's the truth. That's the truth. We have to address that issue. Until we address that issue of representation in the General Assembly of the Nigerian Football Federation, in the body of those that take decisions that guide, the development and growth of the game, and we respect everybody and we involve everybody, we don't keep them away, so that people would think that if you are not president, I don't want to be president of the NFF. Why would I want? The only reason I wanted to be because I believed at the time that if you were not, you could not contribute. And that's what it has proven to be. Whereas we are all suffering. We are all suffering. I'm suffering from it. I should be preparing to go to the World Cup now, to go and make some money because that is my area. But it's almost done now. So we come back to the subject of Nigeria going to the World Cup of 2026. We haven't given up completely. David Olariwaju, lift our spirits a bit again. Let's hear you and your love for going and why you think we should go and what do we need to do to go to that same World Cup. Because even as a journalist, previously you were with the masses to say, no, we have lost it. But suddenly now, you are saying we can still do it. But you are hoping that a miracle happens. You want us to go and do it by prayers. How others will lose so that we can go up. But lift our spirits a little as we prepare to go to the World Cup of 2026 with your wishes.
With God, all things are possible. I still believe we can still make it to the World Cup.
Yeah.
The name of the player I wanted to remember in the local league I was saying is Bola Gade Adelowo, plays for Shooting Stars. Very fantastic player. I've watched him a couple times in Ibadan play for Shooting Stars.
Has he moved abroad?
Has he?
I'm asking.
He has not. He had some trials and he came back.
No, he was not. He was not taken. No, it's not that he came back.
It was. I don't think he was taken. He had some trials abroad. I knew when he went out, traveled to abroad, and he came back to Nigeria.
If he was not good enough abroad, I'm putting you on the spot now. I'm putting you.
It doesn't matter.
No. I know. No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
A lot of players.
I know he's a great player. I know him too.
This Bola Gade Adelowo. I believe Nigeria have a lot of talent, local talent. Yeah. How did West Ham discover Finidi George? How did he discover Ben Iroha?
No, they were great players here. Before Westerhoff, Ben Iroha, Finidi George were playing well here. They were playing well. They were known, like Amokachi, like Etimesin, like. They were known, very well known. They were doing well in the domestic league. Westerhoff just helped them to go abroad and he put them in his team. So I'm saying that we are not producing those exceptionally gifted players enough in our domestic league to use them, directly in the Super Eagles.
The fact is that we have them in the local league, but we are not throwing our searchlight on them like we used to do before in the past when we had coaches like Westerhoff as our coach.
No, the people are putting searchlight. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. David, that's not true. That's not true.
maybe because of technology, people are now focused on European football.
No. Eric Chell went around. He went around. He watched the league. He watched so many games, and he looked at so many players. And people are looking at players. All the members of the NFA board are looking at players. The technical committee, they are all looking at local players. Everybody is looking at them. So to say that they are not looking at them is not true. But the rates of their emigration.
When Weza was a coach, he would go. Weza would go to the stadium.
Eric Chell did the same.
Watch.
Gennett Raw did the same.
Match, and then take the one or two players, and he would not. Weza didn't need the endorsement of FA officials before the players will play for him. So why would Eric Chell need that now? So those are the issues. Those are some of the issues.
Okay.
I think.
So you still think that we are going to the World Cup?
Yes.
Okay.
And I want you to mark my words. Put me on record.
Oh, that would be. I will bless you abundantly. You know, if we go to that would be the happiest day of my life. That I have opportunity to make some more money. You know, I'm old now.
Yeah, we will go to the World Cup. You surprise everybody. That
would be great. That would be great. That would be great. So, Osasu, your final thoughts as we start to go today, the future of Nigerian football as a whole. I see that we don't give ourselves a pass mark so far because we are on the verge of dropping out of going to the World Cup. And that's a measure of how successful we have been as a country, as a board. And, you know, so I don't know. Just your final thoughts anyway.
Well, I think I've said everything I need to say, but the future for Nigerian football is not good. I actually think the worst is yet to come. If within the next 1 year, there is no drastic reform to the electoral system in order to change course. For our future to improve, we need to change course. And we cannot change course with the current leadership of the NFF. So if this isn't changed, there's really nothing much to talk about for the next few years. In fact, I've said it, that we will miss even a third successive World Cup if things remain as they are now. After Qatar, I warned that we are likely to miss a second World Cup in succession. People said, no, that's not possible. Nigeria has never gone through that since we started going to the World Cup in 1994. But we're here. We're here. I know Mr. Larewaju thinks that some miracle of some sort is going to happen between now and October. But the unvarnished truth, the hard truth, no miracle is coming. Because it is to those who work hard that reap the fruits of their labor. We have not worked hard, we have not planned well, and we have found ourselves in a very unpardonable and painful situation, which we can only change when we change the quality of governance. When the quality of governance changes, we will be able to maximize our football potential. Nigeria has so much potential. Even, as I said, that team, the team we have, I mean, the last 2 African players of the year are Nigerian. So we are not lacking talent. What we are lacking is the organization. What we are lacking is coaching stability for the national team. What we are lacking is a proper football ecosystem for our league to thrive and develop players to the level that they could be of international standard. Our league cannot bring a player to international standard now. It is not possible. And anybody who says otherwise doesn't know our league. doesn't know the nature of domestic football in Nigeria. It's sad that we have come to that point, but that is where Nigerian football is. And if we want to change our outcomes, then we must change our attitude and our work habits so that things will get to where they are supposed to be.
Wow. Osasu Obayuana. Thank you. David, you have 1 minute to speak to the President of Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Just imagine that I am the president. Now, you have 1 minute to speak to him on the Super Eagles, Nigerian football, and the future. We are waiting.
Okay, what I should
speak to the president.
Say to the president about the future of Nigerian football.
Yes.
Yes, a total overhaul of the football house, if it is possible. I will tell the president to change everybody in the FA right now, constituted right now. I will ask the president to change everybody in the FA because they have not been performing well, and that's the bitterness of many Nigerians. They are not happy with the administration of football in this country. That's why many football fans are hungry. I remember when I was watching the match on Tuesday, my friend was with me and he was saying that, what am I even watching? What is this rubbish? I should put off the TV. Nigeria should not qualify. He's not interested in football anymore. So we need to put hope back into our people. We need to restore the confidence of Nigerians. And how can we do that? We need to change everything. Everybody has to go. It's not that these Super Eagles, these players are not good. They are good, but they are being mismanaged. People who should not be there in the first place at all. So that is it. That's what I would tell the president. President, Mr. President, please, if you have the power, remove everybody. I know it's very hard, it's bitter. A lot of people may not like this, but that's the home truth. That's the home truth. If we don't do that, we continue to bite our fingers every time.
Okay. Osasu, speak to the president.
Well, I don't need to speak to the president. The president has the chairman of the National Sports Commission. I have spoken to him. In fact, after the match in Bloemfontein, I wrote a long note to Shehu Dikko, and I gave him my thoughts on what should happen next. So why do I need to talk to the president when the person who talks to the president for sport knows my view?
Okay.
They know what to do if they are ready.
Very fair enough. Very fair enough. Well, let me thank David Onariwaju for coming on the show this morning. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
You know, I just want to say, I hope that your wishes, that your prayers, you know, come true. so that at least, no matter what happens, you know, I've not made any money in sports, which is my area of business, for so many years now. You know, how many World Cups we haven't been to? We've missed so much. And people like us remain poor if we don't go to those championships. So this is going to affect us so badly. So I'm even praying that your wishes, you know, find fulfillment. So I'm with you. I thank you very much. And Osasu Obayuana, you have spoken well. You have spoken today. You have spoken the minds of, you know, some of us up to a certain point. We are not against anybody, you know, personally, but we want the system to grow. So on behalf of all Nigerians, I want to thank you, Osasu Obayuana, for the great job that you are doing. Yes, many people don't like you for your frankness and for the things you say, which they think is not in their own interest, but, the truth will always prevail. I thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. That's about all we are going to have. This is an extended show of 90 minutes with Mathematica. It was so important that we decided to extend it by 30 minutes. We have done so. We have fulfilled our obligation. We wish Nigerian football the very best. And we pray. I pray, because that's what we need now. We're praying for a miracle. Let it happen, even though we know that we haven't earned it. Join me again next week, Saturday, for another edition of 90 Minutes with Mathematical. And until then, bye from here. Bye-bye.